strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Bulldog here, back with the newest No Bull review. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but Sorare Fantasy NBA popped up just last week. The season started, and I'm a huge basketball fan, so I had to dive in. I'm having a lot of fun with it, so I thought I'd break this down and give a full review on this. If you haven't seen one of these before, these are not paid videos. These are not shill or fluff videos, hype videos, anything like that. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I dislike, and give my honest opinion, my honest feedback on these games, on this project. So today we're looking at Sorare Fantasy NBA, and just for full disclosure, again, I'm not paid, but I do have an affiliate link down below. There is a promo attached where you can get a free limited card by signing up through that link. I do get commission there, but I'm not being paid and was not, this is all initiated on my own. I actually started that because I went and signed up for it because I'm planning on doing more content. I'm actually going to post some of like my picks for the week and do kind of some short form videos or some peak posts, things like that. Probably not any long form YouTube videos, or not a lot, but I do plan to have some content there. So I did go sign up for that. If that is any indication on how this review is going to go, because yes, I'm already addicted. Honestly, I'm already addicted. There's a lot to like. So one of the first things to like is that this is actually very free to play friendly. In fact, you can play free to play without having to fight against the whales at all. So when you first sign up, you will get 20 cards, 20 of these common cards right here. You can see these are the free ones that I got when I signed up. You choose one star player. I chose Trae Young. I just am a big fan of his offensive game's a lot of fun to watch, and we're working mostly at offensive when we were considering fantasy. So I grabbed him, and then you get 19 other cards here. And these are actually not NFTs, but these are how you can jump in and play the game for free. And I think this is a great setup because it's a great way to initiate players into the game. So you get these free cards, and what you can essentially do is come over here, and there are tournaments. So we're on week 2, so week 1's going on right now. It literally just started a few days ago, but you can jump in, and with your free cards, you can enter into the common contender or common champion. So if we come in here, you will see that there is a point cap. You create a team of 5 players. You got 20 of them, but you're going to set up 5 different players based on the point cap. The players' points are based on the total fantasy, or the average fantasy points they've scored over the last 10 games. So it's kind of dynamic as the season goes on, and you have to be efficient in essentially looking at players and how they've performed over the past 10 weeks and how you think they're going to perform in the next game period. So this one is, you can see up here, is 4 days. They're twice a week, so about 3 to 4 days, and kind of put together the best team based on the cards that you have. And then as you submit your team, you can then win prizes here. So based on your percentile that you finish in, you get more common cards. So these common cards cannot be bought, traded, sold. They're not NFTs. The only way to get them is the free ones when you sign up, and then earning them by playing the game. So you can everybody's going to get one here. The better you finish, the better player you will get. So there's one tournament, and then there's a second tournament. There's a common champion tournament, which is done a little bit differently. So it's got a little higher point cap. You also have an MVP that doesn't count towards your cap, so it's more rewarding for having the top player as well. There are two common tournaments you can enter this week, but you cannot submit the same card twice. So you kind of have to choose which ones you want to play there and what you want to go for. This one has a slightly better prize pool because the top 1,000 actually get some of those limited cards. Those limited cards are NFTs, and we'll get to those here in just a second. So those are much better rewards, but you can compete for both those for free. And if you go to my Discord server, we're actually having challenges. I'm giving away Darth Squirrel NFTs for the highest finishers in these common tournaments. So we're having just some free to play fun challenges. So absolutely, if you like these games, absolutely come to my Discord here and see who can submit the best team and then have the best players. And I guess I was assuming everybody knows what fantasy sports is, but the way fantasy sports work, if you're not familiar with it, is that these are real players, right? Real players on NBA teams, and they get points based on how they perform in the game. So the games over these 4 days, their stats will all be tallied up, and you get a point total to determine your score there. So we mentioned those are the commons. then those are not NFTs. The NFTs come into play with these higher tier tournaments. So we have a limited contender. It's similar to the common contender, except it only uses limited cards. You have to have 5 limited cards to make a team. I haven't bought any yet. I'm kind of keeping my eye on the market and trying to kind of evaluate where prices are and what's a good deal, what's not. I've only just signed up, so I don't have a good feel for that yet, but I'm kind of waiting to see. And you'll see what I'm talking about here when we go to the auctions, so we can see what I'm buying. So I think I am going to buy in, but I'm just kind of waiting and playing for free a little bit now. I'm having fun just with the free games. But then so Limited Champion's not even available yet. It'll be here soon. There's Rare Contender, where you can use 3 rare cards. Or you have to use at least 3 rare cards, and then you can fill in the roster with a few limited as well. So and then there's super rare, unique that are going to be coming as well. So the first ones are free to play friendly. The limited contender, the rare contender, that's when you start to, just being flat honest, it is kind of pay to win, right? Now you still have a point cap. You can't just go buy the top 5 players in the league and dominate that way. So you just have to put them together, but the more you spend, the more player combinations you can have, and you can play different matchups and things like that. The wider your roster, certainly the better your odds of winning and putting together a solid team. So there's certainly, there's definitely skill involved in understanding the game and selecting those teams, but there's definitely a pay to win aspect to that as well. So anyways, how do you get these cards? They're NFTs. You can trade them, you can sell them, you can buy them. You come over here. The way they are sold, the primary sale is through auction. So every day, as we're going on, every single day, players are put up for auction. Like if we click on one here, you can see it's card number 84 of 5,000. This is a limited. The limiteds have 5,000 editions, and it just goes up for bid. Highest bid wins, and gets that card, and then gets a chance to play with it. So that's when I said I'm not sure what the pricing is yet, and like I'm seeing, okay, this player right here is about to go for $3. Is that a good price? Is that not? I don't know those yet. So I'm kind of been watching the market to try and gauge that a little bit better, so I can spend my money wisely on some good cards. But that's how they're sold. And then you can go, like if there's a market, then there's manager sales. So then you can go sell them to other players, and they essentially, just like any other NFT basically. So that's kind of the basis. The other big thing with the game that is for all of the cards, let's go back to my cards and kind of look at a card here, is it's not just the player itself, but the card has XP, which can modify the player's stats and how they perform. So like right now I've got Traegon. He's plus 5%. Any card that is for the current season gets plus 5%. So right now I just started, we're in the first season. That's every single card. They're all going to have plus 5%. Like when we go to next year, this card will carry over to next season as well. And as long as Trae Young's still playing, he's a superstar. I'm assuming he'll be back next year. He will be able to use this same card, but he won't have that 5% bonus. But what he will have is bonus from leveling him up. You get plus 0.5%, so a 0.5% for each level. So if you level him up to level 20, he will then have plus 10%. So as I level him up over the seasons, he can actually, this card could be more valuable a few seasons from now as he's gained XP, and he's getting an extra bonus on his fantasy stats. Now this one cannot be sold. This just stays with me because it's a common card. But if you had a limited card, you could buy a limited card, level it up over a few seasons, and maybe potentially sell it for more, right? Or buy it's hard to say what the market's going to do. I don't want to tell you guys you can make a bunch of profit off this game. We're actually going to get into that here in a little bit, but there theoretically is potential there. So I really like the gameplay here. How it's kind of like combining. It's almost like the daily fantasy sports. Now these are not a single day. It's bi-weekly, but there's still these short matchups. It's not like typical fantasy. You play a full week, so it's a little shorter matchups, and you're playing against essentially against global competition. It's in a single tournament, so it feels more of that daily fantasy sports style, but then it's got like this dynasty aspect where you can collect these certain cards and level them up over time and kind of grow that way. And I really like that progression system. That's something I think will work very well. So anyways, I'm obviously I'm very into the game. There's no doubt about that, right? So I love how easy it is to join. I love the gameplay system, the progression system. And again, you can even, I say easy to join, you don't even necessarily need to know anything about crypto. You can pay with a credit card if you're trying to jump in and buy some of the limited cards. They've made it very, very easy to get in. But let's kind of talk about, let's go through some of the negatives or potential negatives with the game. So I haven't even really talked about the blockchain aspect other than briefly mentioning these were NFTs, right? So which chain is it on? That's something people ask me all the time. This is on Ethereum, which a lot of people kind of view as a negative unless you're, Ethereum has the largest NFT marketplace, right? So it does make sense, but there are also more gas fees there. Now you're not using gas fees on a daily basis here or something like that. It's not where you're constantly paying those fees, and fees are down significantly. So I don't think it's that bad that it's on Ethereum, but I mean, I certainly would rather it be on a chain where there's no fees at all. So that's a minor thing. The bigger thing for me is that even though this is blockchain, I feel like it doesn't actually take advantage of some of the biggest things that blockchain has to offer. And honestly, a lot of people won't care about this, but it's basically very centralized. So yes, it is on blockchain, but they can still ban you. They don't allow multi-accounts, and they mentioned that they will ban the account if they detect that people are creating multiple accounts, things like that. That leads to centralized decisions that may not always be right. I'm a little biased there because in one of the first games, or the first game that I covered on my channel, I spent thousands of dollars on it, and then I got banned because I made a video that the game didn't like. All that money was basically gone. It could not be used in the game anymore. And could you come into situations like that here? Well, because it is very centralized. It's possible. Now, again, is that something most people are going to run into? Probably not, but I know there is a large demographic of NFT gamers, of crypto enthusiasts that will not spend money for something for a centralized platform like that. So if you're that type of person, this is probably honestly something you will want to stay away from. But I think in general, the average player, the average NBA fan isn't even going to necessarily know the difference or really care about that. So getting on to something else that is probably more important to maybe some of the people watching this channel than your average NBA fan is, can you earn from this? This is always a question when I talk about the game. Can you earn from this? How much do you earn? Now, my channel is certainly more gameplay focused than a lot of crypto channels, but that is something that people ask. And yes, there's no token or anything like that you can earn. What you earn are NFTs, and you can maybe level up the NFTs and sell them off. So yes, I think there is definitely some potential to earn, but I don't think, if that's the primary reason you get into a game, I'm not sure this is the type of thing that you want to get into. As a potential secondary, kind of a secondary feature, then yes, I feel like it could be something that's good. Like, for example, one thing that I'm kind of looking at as a way to potentially earn, there are some very cheap rookies in here. Rookies that are going for like $1 to $2. And you can actually, here, we can go in, you can actually sort by them. If we come in here, you can sort by rookies. Let's see, it'd be, oh, I'm on my cards. Let's go to the market here. So you can sort by rookies and look at them, and some of them are very, very cheap because they're not really playing right now. In the NBA, there's some rookies that'll have a huge impact, but you can see like this one over here is $1.37. They're not quite up, but there's some very cheap rookies here because these guys aren't even playing. Like if we click on this guy, we can see that he did not play in the first 3 games of the season, so he's not going for very much. But could you kind of collect a lot of these and then level them up? And if we go to play, you can actually level. There's a training option right here where you can throw in any teams. There's no limit. You can put in as many as you want, and you don't earn any prizes there, but they will gain XP and you can level them up. So I'm thinking about collecting a lot of these cheap rookies, and yeah, a lot of them won't pan out, but maybe by year 2, year 3, you get them leveled up a little bit, and now they start to improve and they start to get some rotation spots. And yeah, even if they're not necessarily stars or anything like that, if they're just rotation players, remember we've got a point cap, so there's some value in having some of the having some backups or some lower players. And now if they're suddenly getting playing time, their value theoretically would go up, right? And then you've got them leveled up on top of that. Those cards could be worth, I mean, they're probably not going to be 50, $100 cards, but even if you buy a card for $1 or $2 and now it's $15, $20, $25, there could be some real profit there. And the more you know about the game and the players, and can kind of evaluate talent that way and see which ones are likely to perform. If you follow the game enough, okay, this team's had a couple injuries. Now there's going to be some bench guys that get a chance to step up and perform. Should you go out and acquire those cards in case they go off? So I feel like there are certainly some opportunities to hop in and make a profit playing this game. And I'm kind of curious to see how those strategies go, but I feel like it's not something where it's not like everybody's playing is going to make a profit. I wouldn't say the average player is necessarily going to make a lot or anything, or maybe not even make anything at all. So if you're looking to get into games where you're trying to make profit off of it, I'm not sure if this is going to be the right one, unless maybe, like, again, if you're a whale and going all in, there's some nice prizes that you can win, right? If we saw some of the we saw the prizes for the limited contender, rare contender. We haven't even seen some of the higher level ones. So if you can go out and win some of those NFTs are very, very valuable. So yeah, I can absolutely see how there can even be some large profit for some people who are either willing to go spend the money or just know how to play the game. But I don't think it's going to be something overall where just everybody's getting into this game and making profit. And I think that's okay. Like, to me, that's kind of more what NFT gaming should be. If everybody's in there trying to make a profit, then you get into some different types of problems. But something like this, where it's more focused on gameplay and the NFTs and owning the NFTs, I think it's much easier to run an economy right there. I'm not gonna say it's a better economy, but it's a simpler economy. It's easier to run. You're less likely to have problems there. So I think it's gonna be fun. I'm absolutely excited about it. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be great, and they've shown with football, with MLB, that the setup can absolutely work. Now we're seeing it come to NBA. Looks like they've expanded some of the numbers a little bit, so I'm curious to see what card values look like. But I think it's going to do well, and you're going to see a lot more. Again, come to my Discord. If you want to sign up for free, you don't have to spend anything. Come to my Discord. You can enter some of these free challenges. We're doing some Darth Squirrel NFT giveaways to the players who get the top percentile or top score during the week. So we're running one of those right now. I anticipate we're going to run several more. So absolutely come join us. Come let me know what you think. Is this something that you're interested in? And do we have any other NBA fans out there? I'm honestly more of a college basketball fan than I am an NBA fan, but it's still high level basketball, right? So I absolutely enjoy it, even though my own team, the Bulls, isn't all that great. So they're not bad, but not championship caliber or anything like that. But I still enjoy it. So let me know, what are your favorite teams out there? I want to know that as well. So let me know in the comments. Come to my Discord, and absolutely let's get involved. We're gonna have some fun with this. You're gonna see a lot more. Thanks so much.